know how I do.
Let's get cracking!
Welcome everybody here to your night of Dota 2 for the D2CL. We are into our NA playoffs right now. One team gets to go to DreamHack Bucharest, and over the next 3 days we're going to find out exactly which team it will be. Let's get into our first game of the night. It's our first semi-final, Na'Vi US going up against NoT today, and I'm joined by a man who I'm really happy is here joining me. He said the other week that his computer blew up, and I got really scared because I thought, well, it's going to be another 2 months till I get to cast with him again. I miss his insight, and I miss his company, but he said tonight it was only a small problem, and he is here. And it's my co-caster for this evening's games, Clairvoyance, man. It's great to have you here on the broadcast.
Ah, Toby, you flatter me, man. How's it going, buddy?
It's actually going really well. I've been feeling so productive of late. Kat's been casting like the last 2 days most of our JD content. And I've been working on a lot of other stuff behind the scenes. And I gotta say, I'm feeling really good. I'm actually feeling rested as well and ready to go for a full night of Dota. So I'm hoping for some great games. I'm hoping for some good Dota.
Yeah, when it comes to North American counterparts in Dota right now, Na'Vi US and not today. It's ironic to say North American here, but they're pretty forefront at the moment. I would say, apart from EG and maybe Cloud9 if you consider them. I guess SNA is another team which is also part of the semifinals as we see today, and hopefully we get to see them in action later on. But for now, we see not today picking up the Brewmaster, and no real surprises. I mean, the Brewmaster, Razor, and the Death Prophet, the three heroes, the trio, the trinity that get to be picked up every single game, and Centaur too lately if you've been watching the Chinese teams.
Yeah, Ben, Centaur's been appearing in so many lineups I've been watching. The Centaur Skywrath combo is the one which I see being picked up more than anything else as far as the games I get to commentate. But the Centaur's just perfect in this meta. It's a very, like, I don't want to quote exactly who said this because it might give away what he's planning tonight, but some very run-at-them strats. Centaur is perfect for either disengaging or engaging, which is why he just seems to fit so perfectly into these lineups.
Yep. Na'Vi US have picked up a very fine opening here with the Centaur as well as the Venomancer. Now, depending on where the Venomancer goes, the impact could very well change for the better or worse, but overall, against a hero like Panda, which is, as you mentioned with the Centaur, a hero who wants to engage as well, you can either counter it with the Stampede, just by running away from the Brewmaster, just as he's splitting. All the units are like 1,000 range away by the time the split is complete. Or you can just have something like a Venomancer camp the Panda's lane, and what happens is, whether Panda leaves the lane or gets the kill on the Venomancer, it really doesn't matter, because the Plague Wards just offer so much lane presence that eventually Panda just loses by losing his tower.
Yeah. And there's no way you can really battle against that. What's he going to do? Come up there and kill every single Plague Ward one by one?
Not happening.
Yeah, so they'll need some other option for that. But the VS pickup, I don't know about you, man, but I've been casting a lot of European Dota of late. And one specific team, ahead... Actually, no, they're not ahead KZ anymore, are they? They went from next KZ to X Game. Yeah. And every time I see the VS, I just get this in my mind. It's aggro tri-lane. Just because of what they do. Not because of what anyone else does. This is only them.
10 seconds
but it's this potential to go a lot of these utility heroes which all combine together to become really good damage dealers in mid-game, which seems to fit perfectly into what Dota currently is right now. So I'm always very open to seeing heroes like Vengeful Spirit being picked up, where in the past I probably would have been like, well, do you really not want to try and go for like the Enigma here? Do you not want to try and go for a more controlling hero who can't have their stun disjointed kind of thing? But the VS for me is really starting to grow on me as a support hero.
Yeah, she's a strong pickup, but I would say as a core she's still the same thing as before. In terms of the meta, I think people are beginning to figure out more and more now. But The shift from 6.82 after all the bounty changes and all the tweaks necessary. At this current point in time, I would say the best strategy is still split push. And I'm not talking about the Furion split push as much as before, because as much as Furion split push is strong right now, that hero is still very susceptible to a lot of these teamfight heroes that come in and kind of just run at him, or just jump him, and he can't really react in time. And also the other thing is that Blade Mail build, which forces him to join engagements against a lot of these strength cores like Panda, which is not as effective as you would imagine. I mean, it's still just a really fantastic build overall, but it's just not as strong as before. So really looking to see if somebody would pick up something like the Terrorblade or maybe Bat Rider to mitigate some of the split potential, and all these heroes that just have a lot of presence. Being able to farm while putting pressure of ganks is the name of the game in this current meta.
What happened to Terrorblade? In the first couple of games and days of this new patch, Terrorblade was being picked up. I got to cast 3 games of him where he just obliterated the enemy. Completely obliterated. Why is he dropped off? Why are teams not picking him left, right, and center? Is it just because they haven't practiced with him? Is that all
Probably.
it comes down to?
Yeah, I'm quite positive that's the case. It's still in experimental stages because I mean it's been like less than 2 weeks since it was introduced, but I think in time people are going to figure it out that this hero, you put him on the safe lane, and what happens is even if he loses the lane and dies 6 times in 5 minutes, he will get his Yasha, he'll get a Quelling Blade, he'll farm his jungle and pressure your tower, and at one point, even these supports and all these kills, all these roamers and core hero that stayed in the offlane 3 position that killed this Terrorblade will actually get zoned out by the same Terrorblade that they killed 6 times, because this hero pops his Metamorphosis, which is basically a Dragon Knight ultimate, and all of a sudden you get zoned out by him or one of his illusions, because his illusions with the Metamorphosis does ridiculous amounts of damage. So I think in time it's gonna place itself as like a first ban, first pick every game. Just like I would say Death Prophet, Panda, Razor. Terrorblade is definitely up there.
Yeah. Well, right now it looks like Na'Vi is well, we can say they're showing their hand a little bit by picking up that Rubik, because it's highly unlikely up against a Brewmaster you're only going to have one support with a controlling mechanism, and that's telekinesis. So it should be a Venomancer core in this lineup, which we were talking about before anyway.
Remaining.
So it just kind of
it's a great counter to Brewmaster. Yep.
5
You deal with the Brewmaster by running away from him or slowing everything he does in his tracks. It's very similar to TA if you think about it. Like the old TA who used to rush Blink Dagger and all of a sudden she just jumps around the map killing everything. Venomancer was still one of the hardest counters, and people haven't discovered it then, but basically you just kite these heroes that try to fight, and even if they get the kills that they're looking for, objective-wise, they haven't accomplished anything. And speaking of which, that Jakira hero, that's objective gaming right there, Toby. That Liquid Fire, man. They're going to push some towers here.
Stands ready.
And Na'Vi US just grabbed this event. See, I can understand pushing the towers with the Jakira. Obviously, Liquid Fire is going to let you do that to a point, but is it really going to be enough right now? Because you've got Sven, you've got Centaur. Sure, these guys don't come online massively early. Neither does the Venomancer or the Rubik, really. But how much damage can you inflict when all you've got is Liquid Fire? You're still going to need something else to let you push down the door of Na'Vi and at least get like that slightly more early game advantage.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see. Although I kind of want to say that Na'Vi US, as much as I support Sven as a hero right now, and as incredible I think he is in this current meta, I think they kind of cripple themselves with that pickup too. It's another strength hero that really wants to get his gold from engaging in fights, because as soon as he doesn't show his lane presence, his farm becomes a lot slower as he needs to invest points into cleave early to farm the jungle efficiently, and that's not going to happen because most Svens these days, they want to max the Warcry as well as the stun to be able to burst and fight. And then the other thing is, as soon as one fight goes Ahri, and it's very possible going up against heroes like Jakiro, Venge, and Brewmaster that your fights are not going to go as expected, then what's going to happen is this Sven is actually going to fall off in terms of farm and then eventually just get kited. So I kind of worry for them for this pickup. I feel like it's a little bit early, but they do have a Centaur to bail them out of sticky situations.
Just to flag different lanes here, just for pure not speculation, I don't want to say theory crafting either, just to satisfy my own weirdness.
10 seconds
That's a better way of putting it. Could you technically run a Sven up against a Brewmaster in the mid, the melee on melee?
You can, but it's not effective because what happens is Brewmaster can not only apply solo kill pressure to a Sven, as tanky as Sven is, in the mid lane what happens is melee versus melee, Brewmaster always claps the creep wave as well as the hero that he's facing. So Sven will always play with like lower life points. And then the other potential is that if they go even on CS, the Sven's actually going to be landlocked in his own lane because he can't leave the lane. and as soon as he leaves to grab a rune or something like that, he might just
5
get
seconds
caught up by a stun
remaining.
from, in this case, the Windrunner or a Vengeful Spirit coming in and Brewmaster follow up or something. This Sven hero is a very iffy
10
carry because
seconds
he's one of those
remaining.
that deal a lot of damage, but is
Radiant
very
team
one-hit
banned.
wonder type of thing. And if he misses his timing or opportunity in the middle of a team fight, then he will just get infinitely kited and destroyed.
I like how Fogged bans out the Spectre. It's one of these heroes which he gets really, really frustrated with. And also,
10
like,
seconds
it's on
remaining.
both sides of the coin. It's if he has to pick it up, if he feels like there's no other option but to
Navi
really try and go
US's
into the
turn
Spectre
to
kind of
pick.
play. And also, if he kind of feels like his team is very susceptible to it, always in the last phase, he's a man that will always focus on that hero. I know it's a weird kind of thing, and I probably shouldn't actually even be saying that kind of stuff, so I'm sorry, Fogged. But yeah, it's one of those hate and love style heroes, or hate love style heroes for him.
Man, that hero was so scary in the at the
10
release of
seconds remaining.
6.82. Man, it was very, very hard to adapt in
5
a lot of
seconds
these public
remaining.
games, especially when all these teams, they just picked all these cores,
Radiant
and then after
team
one
pick.
engagement you realize that you're actually down like 5,000 gold in experience, and you were wondering what the heck happened.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, not enough of that because there's no Spectre here. There is, however, an Enigma, and I think this Enigma 5th pick has been becoming more common lately because people kind of omit and overlook the hero in the early stages, thinking that you can either deal with it with jungle warding or just it doesn't offer enough presence. But this hero, even after the mechanism nerfs, he's still very powerful.
10
He still offers a
seconds
ridiculous
remaining.
amounts of presence, and in terms of objectives, I mean, as a support hero, he gives you
5
everything you need.
seconds remaining.
So a nice pickup by Navi US here.
See, I'm actually going to go to a point which you
Phantom
just mentioned, which
assassin.
was the lack of presence in the game. The Enigma is one of these really hard heroes to have that kind of presence. Like, even if you bring a full army of conversions, like you do one push, then you're back into your jungle. You pick up your mech, you do a second push, and then you're back into your jungle. You pick up a BKB, then you still have to walk into the engagements, or it's a counter initiate. I like the combination which Na'Vi have together. As far as team fights go, Na'Vi US in the early stages actually have it very much in the bag. Their lineup is really, really good for that kind of stuff. But my primary concern is just their lanes are going to be a little bit too weak. That the PA is going to get a lot of space to move around here. The Wind Range will have very little pressure on her, and the Dakura and the VS is going to be a lot more effective in the lanes than the Rubik and the Enigma will together.
Yeah,
10
it is quite
seconds
possible,
remaining.
but I'm not too sure how well their early movement's actually going to
5
go for the
seconds
side of
remaining.
not today. I think this is just going to be one of those traditional cases where if they pay too much attention to one specific hero and focus their ganks and their movements on him, what's going to happen is a lot of the heroes on Navi US are going to get a lot of extra space, which is going to help them maneuver much better in the mid game after they lose like 1 or 2 towers. They'll be able to just fight back in every team fight. And it is true that I think this PA will have relatively easy time in the early game, and she is really, really good as a hero against Sven because 1v1 exchange wise, Sven can't really hit her very, very well. But at the same time, I think Navi US's lineup, if they stay alive in the lanes, they just naturally win because their heroes become more tanky and they'll just have more presence. And once again, even heroes like Enigma, their presence doesn't only come from the conversions. We have to keep in mind the black hole, how teams tend to run into the Enigma these days. And even if you have a way to shut down the black hole, that spell called the Midnight Pulse, that does pure damage. That spell is something, Toby. I tell you, man. You hold towers with one click.
I really don't know how you're meant to push up against that kind of thing. Enigma for me, yeah. The counter
that
the
AoE,
counter
man,
push
is
is great.
crazy.
The rotations and ganking wise, it's meh, very early on. But just holding and turtling, which can actually, when you think about it, if you can survive the first 10 minutes of the game with an Enigma and not have a really crappy start, then you can hold the line at all times.
Exactly.
And this
That
whole
hero.
game, this whole meta is built around holding the line and then pushing back when their push fails. That's all it
Yep.
really is. As if you're coming back from a deficit, of course.
So long as the deficit's not that big, and as you say, even with a large deficit or a slightly significant deficit, I would say there are new implemented mechanics which help you in that comeback staging. But overall, I really do like Navi US's lineup, and that's not forgetting not today's lineup here. Once again, they have the Brewmaster, they have Vengeful Spirit, and they have this Phantom Assassin, which is a pretty good hero in this patch. It's somewhat hit or miss in a lot of recent games as well, but overall, this hero can very well work in a lot of situations that people wouldn't expect it to. And they have Jakiro, which is a fantastic hero overall right now. So I don't doubt their ability to win, but I just think that in terms of execution, they're forced to do a lot more than Navi US is. And I always favor the team that has to execute less because that just opens up less room for mistakes. So I think I favor Navi US here in terms of the draft.
Well, we'll see how it all will end up. Right now, we're going to go through our lanes, so we will run through Navi US's first. You'll notice that we're still missing Braxton 1437. This has been a consistent thing, so the rumor mill can keep turning on that one. All we know is that these guys will be playing out the remainder of the playoffs. Is what a little birdie did tell me. So it'll be Johnny Walker as the off-lane Centaur. We'll have the Pink Panda taking up the role as the Enigma, and we'll have Korok as the Venomancer going towards the mid lane. Fog to be the Rubik up in the top lane, that leaves Snaking as the Sven up on that north lane. And Mihawk will be our Wind Ranger going off-lane, Boots as well as Observable to start with. Mystico will be the Chikiro in this game as well. Middle lane will be Smash taking up his role as a Brewmaster, expecting a lot of spam as he's bringing a stick from the very get-go in towards that middle lane as the Brewmaster go up against the Veno. And that leaves on the bottom lane, Iro. He'll be the Phantom Assassin who has decided to actually, well, cover over her eyes and use the Force to sense the CS. And Masoku will be the final one as the Vengeful Spirit. Not sporting any of the classic Vengeful Spirit costumes, I must point out, because they are gorgeous VS costumes.
Yeah, but Vengeful Spirit is a gorgeous hero overall.
That's
don't
true,
need no costumes on that hero.
It's the long white hair
The
that
battle
I don't know, man. It
begins.
just gives the hero so much more depth. Top lane Fogged. Well, that Shackle went a long way up, but he did grab himself a haste rune, so he'll run himself away to safety. But a very early, actually, funnily enough, Mihawk actually leveling up the dual breath as opposed to liquid fire on this top lane, and also leveling up the Shackle shot from the Wind Ranger. Don't know if these abilities are going to be the best things to serve them on this top lane.
Yeah, they hurt themselves up pretty hard with that pickup. Fog taking that rune was so huge because if that rune was uncontested, they would not only get the liquid fire, but Windrunner would get any spell and apply a lot of first blood potential coming out of this range dual lane off lane. So I think that was a really risky pickup, but a very nice one. And in the end, he got away with it.
I like the way Johnny Walker also approaches the lane up against... Oh, actually, we might have a little bit of trouble for Mihawk. Pick up, throw back. They do have Stormbolt available as well, which means giving a lot of damage. Sneaking to get in front of him, do a bit of a body block. Actually, don't even need that. The physical DPS is just enough from Frog as well as sneaking. Shakira couldn't turn him out, and Mystico actually just walked over with Sentry Wars to start dewarding. So he wasn't even available to throw out a Shackle shot. But how do you like Johnny Walker's approach to the offlane? Get a Stout Shield, get a Ring of Protection, and go a first level return to battle up against a Phantom Assassin.
It's not bad. I'm not too sure how much the different spell pickup would have changed the scenario, but overall Return is known to be very good in the offlane, as Centaur can actually exchange harassments and right clicks with a lot of heroes, and in this case the core and the Phantom Assassin, which doesn't do that much right click damage, and definitely nothing without the presence of the Vengeful Spirit. So I think he's doing really well in the offlane, and I expect him to continue doing well, as this PA VS lane doesn't apply that much kill pressure against the Stout Shield Centaur.
Well, for now, man, I'm wondering if this top lane for NoT is capable of getting back on its feet. You're getting a Sven that's getting a decent amount of farm, not completely contested. Fogged. Oh, there goes your pull potential from Mihawk, even though I think it was just a fraction of a second too early. This has just become a bit of a rough lane for them. While the middle lane, Korok up against the Brewmaster. Looks like the Smash is doing quite well here. He doesn't have any stick charges, actually going to get Galed up. It's actually a 2-point up in Gale Korok. As opposed to going for Plague Wards, he's actually got a 2-1 build here. It's just trying to beat into Smash. Smash is running for the regeneration rune, throws the clap out, but Korok was so far away from that. Smash won't reach this rune. He wants to get there. Regeneration, he won't get there. Venomancer gets a solo kill up the hill. He's got 52 life points, and Masoku does not have enough damage to give any kind of revenge kill. While up on top lane, Mihawk being picked up, thrown around, gets the door breath, and even a Battle Shackle shot coming at it from Mystico. But Mihawk on 35 life points, the Fey Bolt will kill him off. They don't have enough mana to follow after Mystico, and that'll be the end of the engagements. But Navi US now 3-0 in front, and probably more critically, Korok gets himself a solo kill in that mid lane.
Yeah, I really don't think that should have happened overall. I think the Venomancer tanking the 2 creeps the whole time would have just allowed Smash to just keep just going back and forth, just floundering on Korok, and what that would force the Venomancer is just miss right clicks, and eventually it would give Smash a lot of time to let the Gale effect wear off, and eventually it would have allowed Smash to just either secure the rune or turn on the Venomancer with a clap that would actually connect. And now what's going on is because Smash missed the clap again, Korok is coming in for a lot of harassment, and he can't do this because they both have full bottles, and this favors the range hero in this kind of situation.
It's even better for the fact, like, Korok for me, he's not going the full Trixie, which for me is a little bit sad in a way. And he should be doing this anyway to go up to the Plague Ward levels now. But if he kept going up into that Venomous scale, you can basically just straight out win your lane. Because you can attack directly into it. And Smash can't do anything. He wants to reach him to let off that clap. He just can't get close enough.
You know, the problem with doing that kind of max scale thing is very similar to why Tinkers stopped getting the max March rocket.
Fogged. Perfect timing. Smashing me picked up, throw him back down again. The Gal will connect. He does not have split of Valve, but he's got the clamp over on Fog. But Fog, Korok, he's still got himself some okay. Shackled up. He had set some bottle charges, but he was never able to get him off in time. Not with a good rotation came out from Mystica, but now Sneaking comes in, lets off that Storm Bolt. There's a lot more support. The attack from Fog won't be able to connect, but Sneaking can't get close enough. Smash, 4 life points he drops down to. The Illusions are chasing down after him, but they will not be able to reach him. Both heroes will get back to base safely. And they are out of the woods for now.
Yeah, these are in my opinion very forced movements, and I'm not too sure how effective they are. I'm not sure who's actually coming out ahead. All I do know is that the Enigma's free farming out of it, which is really nice for Navi US. And in the meantime, as PA was expected to, with the presence of the Vengeful Spirit in the lane, he will start getting CS with the Stifling Dagger as well as his right clicks. But Centaur is still doing decently. He's looking to hit like level 6 at around 6 minutes or 7 minutes, depending on the death count. And either way, Korok's getting harassed up again at the mid lane.
Yeah, but he's got some help from Fogged. There's no Gale available, so it's already connected on him, but it's not doing enough damage into Smash to really make it to jeopardizing to his life points. Not unless they go for a second round right now on him. But that means they're doing that underneath the tower. While on bottom lane, Johnny Walker. Okay, he's able to get a hoof stomp and a double edge. He's actually going to get a revenge kill. The PA will still go down.
He does go down, yeah, as you said, he does go down, which means that his level 6 is going to kick in at
dead. The Brewmaster split's gone.
Korok's
down the mid lane. He just tried to make the best of a bad situation on that bottom lane, the Centaur. He knew he was dead with the 2 heroes under the tower.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate though, because the wave was just pushing in and he still has a creep wave to deal with. But if he got an earlier level 6, he would have been probably able to save the Venomancer. Not only that, but make another kill happen as Fog was rotating into the lane.
Oh, top
so
lane.
It's just one of those things.
Pink Panda's going to get in a lot of trouble snaking. He got initiated on by a Smash. The clamp's already gone, remember, there's no split. He's got Stormbolt available and then just turns. The Shackle will be there. Enigma, Black Hole's available, but there's just no real follow-up. The Gale goes into Smash. He's got no split, and with the Midnight Pulse taking a lot of his life points away from him, Smash should die here while Enigma's got himself all the way back into the tree line. There's your stick charges. The Swans, it won't see him. He'll actually TP himself out in time before the damage can kick in. Now Masoku will try and have a battle up against Korok. Korok ball charging up as quickly as he possibly can. The Plague Wards are allowing some defense. Enigma did die in the jungle, while now the Storm Bolt out from Sneaking. Fog's trying to help him off. He's got a Fade Bolt, but the Telekinesis pick up will slow down Masoku. But with the Dual Breath, Fog knows he's going to go down. One last Plasma Fade Bolt before he'll go down, while Mihawk, the Gal connected on him. The Centaur only trying to buy some extra speed to follow underneath this Tier 1 tower. And now, well, Brewmaster back to the fight. Follows up for the clamp. There's Buybash coming out from the Wind Ranger, surging for Sneaking. The Shackle, able to launch him, using the creep to actually get that Shackle as well. With nothing behind him as his only choice. And he landed it perfectly. So he hit 7-6 after a quick buyback to get some revenge kills. And that looks to be the end of it.
That buyback really wasn't necessary though. I'm not even sure if it was worth or not, even with the bounty gold. It seemed very odd. But regardless, they do get the big Sven kill, and part of it I feel like is
Smash.
Yeah, Smash is getting harassed again.
What are you doing, Smash?
He's got TP. He's fine. He's not going to take a lot of damage either because he has the Brewmaster Drunken Brawler, which always procs when you need it to.
If Korok had mana for his ulti, then though he'll be in a lot more trouble right now.
You know what? The fact that Korok actually skilled his ultimate here too, this is going back to that Tinker point once again. The reason why these heroes that have massive burst and kill potential stop getting these spells just for the killing is because objective gaming started happening, and they realized that after they die once with this spell build, they never get the adequate levels to follow up with their secondary sets. If the Tinker goes March Laser, just like how a Venomancer goes Gale and Poison in these kind of games, you die once and all of a sudden your level 8 to 12 progression becomes impossible. So you'll never get the levels to play the objectives that you were looking for in the first place by picking this hero. And Korok, I think he's honestly falling victim to that style right now. He's got 2-1-2 on his skill build. He's only level 6 at 8 minutes. And he's got level in Poison Nova, which is not really going to help him kill a Panda.
A little bit of a miss skill out there from Pink Panda. He didn't go, oh, not a miss skill, a miss ability. He didn't go straight in for the Malifaux stun. Meanwhile, Venomancer dies on the middle lane, while on bottom lane, Johnny Walker the nuke. He's holding on to it because he knows he'll die if he actually uses this double edge. He's going to try and juke it around in the new tree line into the corner, and they can't chase him down any further.
Yeah, that was a good back.
Yeah, but the Enigma came in for a gank up here in the top lane, and he came around the corner. I think he just lost sight that he didn't get the Maleficent off. So then Savannah had to go for the Storm Bolt, and then by the time he got that, you had the retreating hero to this point.
Yeah. I also think the Ice Path, when it hit both heroes, that engagement is done right there.
Yep.
Because the Liquid Fire already slows down the attack speed, which is pretty much the vast majority of their follow-up damage, which is right clicks. But yeah,
they won't have a crack at this. The Wind Ranger's holding back on purpose here, looking for the perfect shackle,
snaking.
and now through it. Well, that almost was in the right target. The Maleficent's keeping Smash back. The Drunken Haste trying to slow him down. The Sneaking's got himself far enough away. They'll protect their tower for now.
Yeah. So Korok desperately wants levels here. See, when Panda leaves his lane like this, what should happen is the tower should take like 200 to 300 extra damage. And then even when the Panda returns, the same thing happens, because the fact that wards are already placed means, just as we talked about earlier, this Panda's not going to kill them. And it just clears the creep wave so fast, comparably to the Thunderclap. The only difference is Panda can't walk up to the creep wave because he takes like 100 damage in terms of right clicks, and he gets slowed and he gets poisoned. So it's a really difficult matchup for Panda overall, but the fact that he's got 2 kills on the Venomancer makes up for a lot of what they potentially could have missed. And Smash, he's pretty close to his Blink Dagger already. 300 gold in the old patch, but 400 gold now. And once he gets that, he's going to have a lot easier time to initiate on the targets that he's looking for.
It is kind of just unfair though to heroes like a Brewmaster who are always desperately trying to scramble to get that kind of cash to get the Blink Dagger up and running, and then you make it more expensive. Almost like the same for Enigma. Like
I can't say that. I did speak to Bruno about it before TI3, and I think while we were discussing the game overall, that Blink Dagger item, ever since they took away the mana cost, Toby, that item was viable on every single hero in the game, and I don't think I could agree with
what's the problem with that? There's no problem with that.
I don't know. I just like
it
your first
encourages
2,000
movement.
gold. It does, but what ends up happening is then all of these strength initiation cores, which used to lack mana or have mana problems, like Axe, Centaur, and Sven, these kind of heroes, they literally just come in and drop this massive heavy mana cost nuke, and you actually can't fight up on it because most of them are stuns or huge slows, and by the time you can react, this Blink Dagger item has already done its job and helps you escape, helps you skip jungle paths, helps you get to runes faster. It's just way too good. It serves way too many purposes.
So maybe not increasing the cost of it, but actually adding the mana cost back to it may have been a better choice.
Well, the thing with Ice Fog is, I think traditionally it's very well known that he doesn't like to revert nerfs. I think like the only recent case exception was Naga Siren, which he kind of like went back and forth with Riptide and stuff, but Ice Fog usually never does that. He'll always buff one aspect and then nerf the other, just to maintain the uniqueness of the hero. So I think with the Blink Dagger, once he removed the mana cost, that was set in stone. And
nice little insight into how the patch worked. That's what I'm talking about with the middle lane. Second Korok gets his ulti, Smash has to use the Primal Split. And Korok sent her ulti with the Brewmaster.
that was the perfect time.
It picked him up into towards the air, and Korok, he is so dead. With Meork also rotating in, he'll have this kill. He gets as many Plague Walls down as he possibly can. The Brewmaster ulti will wear off, and of course Smash now unaffected by all forms of gunk, and will even get himself a bounty rune, bringing him closer and closer to that Blink Dagger of his.
Yeah, Korok is just in a world of pain right now, simply put. He really wants his levels up, and he really wants to take this tower.
Fog trying to protect himself with the telekinesis, but it's just not enough. But the magic missile that was also out, it just slowed him down perfectly. And there was no way away from that. And of course, there's no way to really prevent that kind of initiation, because it's a blink and a magic missile, or a swap and a blink and a magic missile and a stifling dagger. There's just so many different range abilities that this NoT lineup can use to initiate in. Like, you think you're safe underneath your tower, and then they just dive you, but don't take any of the aggro.
Yep, and they're doing it again. This time, Navi US realized that they want to set up a bait.
Yep, Hoof Stomp, double edge, the shackle, however, over on Johnny Walker. He'll go down, but the Maleficent will be picking up the Phantom Assassin here, including the Fade Bolt out from Fogged. So it'll be a double kill coming in there for the Rubik. Also able to steal Magic Missile, which is a nice stun to take. But they're losing the tier 1 tower in the middle lane for that 2-2 trade-off in the bottom.
Yeah, and they
also
killed
lost
the
Venom in the
Venomancer
mid.
again. this is like when Venomancer gets this kind of situation, it's very similar to like a Broodmother. It's like it's serving like the opposite purpose. Instead of being able to stay in your lane, you actually get forced out of your own lane with better presence. And then Fog coming in with the big deny. He's been doing this in a lot of recent games, but once again, this just puts Na'Vi in a really bad position because they lose the mid tower, a whole bunch of map control, and this Venomancer still not max level.
They're jumping up. They're looking for the shackles right now from Mystico, but he can't find the angle for it. This guy's got double null talismans. So there's no way for him to actually have a Blink Dagger or a 4-star. Also, the reason why it's drawing a little box and a big question mark down here below the tier 1 tower is merely how can this be allowed to be so damn big? It takes out almost every single juke spot apart from this small one going down the tree line. Meanwhile, a little bit further up the lane, Masoku, there's Smash jumping in. It's a good clap on two heroes, allowing for the power shot controller.
2 for 1.
Line them up, Toby. Line them up.
That is just perfect from NoT. Absolutely perfect.
My oh my, I don't see this going in Na'Vi US's favor anytime soon here. Snaking still scraping up every little bit he can find, but in the mid lane, sitting at 1, 2, and 3 in score. 36 CS to his name. He's way off from being able to carry this game, whereas you look at Iwo, top CS on the board, and he doesn't have too many items to show for. But this hero, once he gets a Battle Fury, which is what he looks to be getting, his farm is gonna skyrocket exponentially.
Mihawk's gonna die on top lane. Korok, the level of commitment he feels he needs to do this is his ultimate. That's hard enough, but look at the tick count damage on him with dual breath, as well as having liquid fire, as well as having the urn. It drops him down so far. But the bottom lane, obviously, Fog ends up dying down there, and they've got the tier 1 tower dead to rights.
Yeah. Even trade, I would say. Possibly favorable for NoT due to the fact that they have such good warding at the bottom lane. So not only is the tier 1 down for grabs, like you can no longer farm in that area, but you can't even farm near tier 2 because they have so much presence there. And Fog looks like he wants to come down. He might want to be careful, but as I say, that Smash is actually to hold the tier 2 at top, I believe.
They're pushing. They're pushing hard. That buckle just came off cooldown as well, so they can buff him up.
Pretty weak push though.
Yeah. They can't attack directly into the tower when an ice path like that happens. He has to actually storm bottom to Masoku. Sneaking's dead. Masoku will actually swap him back in again to ensure the kill. The power shot would have sliced him in half anyway. And Smash,
blink in 10 seconds.
They're trying to use the smoke to actually catch up to him. I think that was the goal right there, while Fogged as well as Phantom Assassin are battling on the bottom lane. Damn, the Stifling Dagger. It got a coup de grace hit. The Gale, however, will get a follow-up connection. Johnny Walker's going to TP out before they can do anything about him. It's the same for the PA. And then the center ulti will allow the Pink Panda just to run himself away to safety too. So everyone's out apart from the Porzaven, who ended up dying underneath the tier 2 tower.
Yep. Again, Snaking, not looking to have anything in for his name very soon. He's got a nice skill build actually. It's a very efficient build to only go 2 in Stormhammer. Similar to the Spectre builds these days that only go 2 into Dagger early.
Pink Panda's dead.
But
he is so dead. All they wanted was just a mini stun, so Ioro could do the rest of his work.
They're dying a lot. They're dying a lot right now.
Yep. Just giving so much over. This experience in gold change keeps kicking into NoT. Obviously, it's not going to be as big because they're... Okay, maybe it will be. When you can still pick up 2 heroes in the bottom lane, and they've got the Brewmaster split available. The Ice Path just inch off target. He'll need to throw that liquid fire out, and he'll actually pick up both of them on the hit. And the Brewmaster just splits. He's got help coming in. The Stifling Dagger, they blink up, they're focusing on Snaking. Korok goes over there in the tree line, but the Observer Wall is seeing him perfectly. So just put Korok basically up on the side to reheat him later. And now they come over for the course. And Korok locked in the tree lines with the Ice Path, with the dual breath. He is going absolutely nowhere. And Johnny Walker, they're coming in one after the other. This Enigma, he's got a black hole available, but he's got no one he can have a crack at. Smash is in close, but he was going to go down anyway. And maybe it's now NoT that overcommitted themselves, because, wait, why aren't they not jumping in? I know the black hole is there, but it just seemed like Windranger said, I'm running low on mana, I'm bailing out of here. And the PA was like, well, I've taken 20 points of damage, so I'm also backing up.
It was a good idea. The amount of with the Venom Wards, as well as the conversions doubling themselves up here in the bottom lane with the creep wave. If they got Black Hole, they would have been followed up by like a Rubik with a Spell Steal. And
at the same time, their burst damage potential is just so big, and they're the ones with the vision advantage there.
They do, but they would have only taken down the one target, which is the Centaur. They would have definitely fed over to the Enigma as well as the Rubik. So I think it was a good choice to back there.
Okay. Well, now Na'Vi US going to try and force that bottom lane. With no mana left early on Mystico, he's got one power shot and that's all. They don't have the spam available to really stop that. So instead it looks like they're going to set up for a kill up on top. So both the Jakiro and the VS coming in here.
Yeah, and this Jakiro, not a single point in macro fire by level 10. You know, that spell, even if you're not trying to commit to holding towers, what it does is you drop it on the creep wave and it just disappears. It's really good for pushing in the waves, and with the cooldown so short, it should be picked up early.
He got it at level 11. Remember BCZ when he was playing a core Jakiro, looking for it as a DPS hero, he never got that at all.
Well, the thing with the core Jakiro is they have a lot more presence without anything, and they get levels relatively easily. But they should still get it by 11.
I think it was also because he absolutely hated dual breath. He hated the animation for it. He said it took way too long. So instead he just got basically 4 points liquid fire, 4 points up in the ice path, and went stats.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That I can't agree with that Jakiro build. But that's just picking up a hero for liquid fire, which is somewhat understandable.
That's exactly what it was, though. Like that was when they were running the Pugner and the Bristleback combination, and all you really wanted from your Jakiro was the ability to move to the front lines and stand your ground. That's exactly what it did. Now Masoku try and juke him in the tree line. Not gonna work though. They'll finally catch up to him. Looks like Fogs actually managed to steal his dual breath, so they get the pick off over on the VS. While meantime, Fogs has to TP himself out of that middle lane. A Smash was rather over aggressive with a haste rune.
I think at this point, NoT should just relax a little bit in terms of the aggression. Let Iwo get his battle fury, which is coming in probably in like the 1 minute time. And when that happens, he's gonna just farm the entire jungle, and anytime they spot out a target crossing the river or near the proximity of the river, they can just pick off with the Panda ultimate. They can play this relatively safe because they have a pretty good lead considering all things. Once again, this Venomancer is just no game impact at this point. He's just so underleveled and he died way too many times against the Panda.
Go on, Mystico. It was really nice knowing you. The Midnight Pulse is down. The Gale will connect. He's trying to Shacklify himself some space. He managed to do some decent damage. The Black Hole.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa. That is some serious commitment. As the Stifling Dagger is almost killing off Korok when he gets the coup de grace proc on it.
Yeah, I mean, that hole wasn't that bad. I mean, it seemed like overcommit, but what it did was it was a zoning tool for the PA. But now they don't have hole, which allows NoT to initiate like this.
Yep, and the Brewmaster, he sends one Storm Bruling over to search for an extra hero pickoff. As the Centaur ulti, he's still locked inside the tree line, but they can't kill him off. The Wave of Terror can't get vision, then a blink into the tree line. Johnny Walker, it looks like he might actually get himself away to safety in this one. While a little bit further up, the PA is currently ticking out. There's just too much tick damage over on him, and that means the PA does go down. Johnny Walker got scouted out by Brewmaster, so they did get him in the tree line at the end of the day. And the Wind Ranger also took a fall, so it's a 2-for-1 trade-off on that bottom lane. Yeah,
that was some. I would have to say that was a pretty big miscoordination coming out of NoT. The way they initiated that fight, what should have happened is they should have bursted down the Centaur immediately, and then just chased after the next target at the Panda Cyclone. And instead, they both got greedy, thinking that okay, you guys can take that Centaur at the bottom, and I will just go into the middle of the team fight. And since they're scattering, I'm pretty sure I can burst one down. And they misjudged, they miscalculated, and that cost them pretty big because Navi US should not have come out with a single kill from that exchange.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Meantime, snaking space.
Yeah, finally he could actually get something worthwhile having. Like he's got a Master Madison Ogre Club, still a way off having his BKB, of course, but
yeah.
Of course, once he has that, then it's only the physical DPS he's really going to be concerned about. At the same time, he should be really concerned about that. The Phantom Assassin is still walking around with this Battle Fury of her sitting at the highest net worth of 7.7k. And this farm won't slow down now she's got the Battle Fury.
Yep. Once again, they really need to just relax a little bit. If they can just catch their breath, maintain the pace of the game, and maintain control throughout the map as they have. Of course, it's not as easy anymore because Navi US got that pick at the bottom and they placed some really nice wards, or they had some really nice wards. It still doesn't change the fact that NoT are ahead, and they have this incredible amount of pressure that they put with the Panda being off the map. So as you can see, Navi, they react appropriately. But the other thing is way too sexy in the enemy jungle. Just farming is so smart of him as well, because he notices that these heroes are missing, and he can just TP to a tower to hold it. So in terms of objectives, they're not losing anything, but they're actually taking away from the enemy by farming the enemy jungle.
Dire's top tower.
They're still gonna be careful about all of this though. because they're going to lose so much map control. And counter initiating now into NoT, like, you got a Brewmaster Ollie that's already going to cause you problems, and he's TP down to the bottom lane, instantly to the split, but the center Ollie's been triggered. So they back up from there, but in the middle lane, Korok is sneaking. They trigger actually the God Strength in order to get this, and they're going to take it, so it ends up being a tier 1, tier 2 trade-off. Jakira's coming back, they have Yule set revival on this guy now too, so be careful about the disables, and they want to chase down sneaking. He lets off the war cry, so his armor is really high for the moment. Support's coming in from Korok, the Gale, and the ulti. Connects on Miork as well as Iowa. They send him up. There goes your shackle shot. Perfect line from Mystico. And they basically come in and sandwich Na'Vi US on the top River Rune.
Line them up, Mystico. My goodness. How many more of those are we going to see this game, Toby? Because if we do see any more, it might just win them the game.
Well, so far I've seen about 3 which have been on the same level. So I'm going to say we're probably going to find some more.
Yeah, I mean, granted, those targets, I mean, the Venomancer was at least dead for sure. And given the way the supports are coming in from that specific angle, they could have probably blocked out the Sven. But that kind of thing just makes team fights so easy and makes you so confident too coming into the next fights. So it looks like they want to push down the mid lane now, which they can very well do so with Liquid Fire, as well as burst damage coming out of the support Windrunner and presence with the VS as well as the PA. And overall, I would say at this point, NoT are looking pretty darn good.
Yeah, but they've still got to breach high ground. Remember, we talked about this before. Plague Wards, Midnight Pulse, Fey Bolt, and then you're still going to run the risk of coming into a Centaur initiating with his ulti as well, which will bring Enigma into position. With Blink Dagger or no Blink Dagger, Pink Panda will be able to get himself there. By the way, that is actually snaking, isn't it? Not snaking. That's way too.
Way too sexy.
Yeah. Can we slap him and tell him to change his nickname? Or is he really wanting to be known as the Pink Panda?
Yeah, why not, man? The Pink Panda, the Pink Panther, it's beautiful.
It frustrates me. It frustrates me. See, if you're gonna make an official name change, then at least do it like Fly did. He's like, I don't like my name. I'm gonna now be called Simba.
Oh no, you can be upset at that. That's definitely a downgrade. Fly was such a beast name. Simba is just...
Dude,
I guess it's great to some people.
Simba is the freaking Lion King.
Yeah. Come on. I'm not a Lion King.
It's also a testament to his heritage. Sort of. Not really, actually. Not at all.
Not really, yeah.
Wrong area of the world, actually, when you think about it.
Alright, Toby, it's okay. I understand, man. I understand. I got you, bro.
Maybe it's after something else called Simba, but I'm not going to explain that one for the kids at home. We've got NoT going in for Roshan now, so with Medallion of Courage as well as Wave of Terror, -9 armor over onto Roshan.
Yeah,
the focus fire
Roshan all you want. You're not stopping this one.
now finally the main damage dealer has arrived, so the PA is in, and they've got it down.
Yeah. And you know, that PA with a BKB, he's going to be able to withstand everything that they throw at him, even under a black hole probably. So this is getting really dangerous for Na'Vi US. Again, as much as I believe that their lineup was superior in some ways, that superiority completely diminished with the mid lane tower going down before their enemies.
Especially with all the disables. We've actually got double Yule Scepter coming up here for NoT.
Oh man, that's such a good item right now. The fact that it disables Blink Daggers is so huge. It just buffs heroes like Death Prophet and makes it like almost Blink Dagger status.
Masoku got picked up. Support's on the way from the Takiro. His Ice Path will catch out 3 heroes. And the Macro Pyre being dropped too.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's really going to have...
Oh, Mihawk.
Are they coming in?
Please, run.
Yule Scepter, Ice Path, and now with the door breath, Smash comes in, climbs instantly, and then goes for the split. He'll send the Rubik up and towards the air. The Venomancer is actually back at base, healing himself up at the moment, but they've already lost 1, and they're going to lose Fogged as well. But the Wind Ranger died up on the top lane for some non reason, next to the PA. But they get 2 for 2 as the end trade-off.
And you know what? I really like what Korok did here. He realizes that even with the Aghanim Scepter, the impact might not be there against the Brewmaster initiation as well as PA with a BKB. And I know the new change allows the Aghanim's the Poison Nova to stay in effect through the BKB, but it just doesn't do enough burst damage when they need it to. So he realizes the biggest concern is just to be able to split push into the map and get vision of the enemy no matter what. So all these fighting heroes are always on the map and pushing out the waves and not jumping onto them on their side of the map. And this Blink Dagger helps them just blink into trees and TP or just get around so much easier. And of course there are some spells that you can disjoin as well. The Magic Missile as well as the Stifling Dagger coming out of the PA. So I like this Blink Dagger pickup. I'm not sure how effective it'll be right now, but it's definitely the best choice.
Well, you're going to find out pretty soon, I'm fairly certain, because NoT still have this Aegis the Immortal, and it doesn't have a long duration left on it, only 3 more minutes left. And they will want to do something with this, not just hold back.
That was a really good change, I think. The whole objective of Roshan as a whole, like, ever since the positional movement of the pit, I think what Roshan became is, instead of an objective to kind of sneak in for an advantage, it became an opportunity to kind of throw, or opportunity for comeback to the enemy team who's not doing Roshan. Because there's actually so many angles to approach the pit from, and the pit just seems so condensed too. Like it's not an easy way to escape the pit. It was never that case even in the previous location, but right now it's just caved in from so many different bogged areas that it's so difficult to fight uphill from inside the pit.
Na'Vi US are about to lose that tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. Right next to that pit you're talking about.
Dire's bottom tower
As Smash will come and join the rest of his teammates. They want to go high ground now. So they're going to attempt a tier 3 tower before Na'Vi US can do anything about the bottom tower. And Gold Strike that should be used by sneaking. There's fortification available for both teams. They're actually going to trigger both right now. And the Enigma moving forward. The Midnight Pulse will go, but look at Iroh. He wants to just jump him straight away. Remember, he's the man with the Aegis Immortal. Will trigger his BKB. He does have Blink available, so he's jumping himself over the shackles, trying to latch and actually hold Korok there as well, using the Centaur as the initial pivot point. But it won't happen. The Hurok, he just got to stay there by Fog. A pick up and throw down the stifling dagger. He doesn't get a coup de grace crack over on that one, but the fire is burning on the bottom lane, affecting no heroes from Na'Vi US, but the Brewmaster still having enough space to bow this one up the swap, dragging Fog back into this fight. The clamp will be on him. He'll go down very quickly. And they're getting another stun over here on the Pink Panda. Very quick mop-up work here by NoT. They still have to bring down the objective, and that's the Rax. The buyback came out from the Enigma, and there's your Blink to ultimate. He gets evaporated, though, but it will buy the space for Johnny Walker. Now in for the BKB ultimate. Doesn't want to do it. He doesn't have to do it either. There's now the rest of Na'Vi US trying to chase down this Jakiro outside the base. They gotta still be careful. The support is here from the Wind Ranger, but the PA doesn't want a bar of it. They might need these shackles to get away. The Yule Scepter, Wind Ranger just not have enough life points to fight this. And they're just going to retreat as far as they possibly can. They committed so deep for this.
Yeah. And I think they lost the gem for it too, which is really, really good for Na'Vi US, but that fight really goes to show that Na'Vi US.
Korok blinks forward. Just in case they thought about it. Now Korok with the Centaur ulti. He needs to hit the Gale. He wants it over on Mystico. And the 4-star going up from the Centaur, but a quick turn to a Yule Scepter before the Gale even came out from Korok. He couldn't hit his mark.
That was close, but I don't think they should have even bothered committing to that Stampede. I think what they should have looked for is the next possible objective. I know all the lanes are too pushed in and they just got tier 2 top, but it was probably most important to just recuperate, regroup, and farm the enemy jungle and push in the bottom lane or something, because now without Stampede for another little bit, you know, they can't really save a PA jumping into another target, especially if Sven was like farming the lane just now or something, but wisely backing out says snaking. And he's gonna farm the jungle again, so that's nice for him. But he's still very, very underfarmed. You know, this is not the farm you would expect of a Sven at 155 CS, but this is the goings of Dota. When you commit to so many fights and you end up just not getting the kills, you're counter rewarded.
You have so many deaths to your name. Those 7 deaths just crippled him.
Yeah, hurts him so much. This hero, once again, he needs to snowball as a very strong carry. It's really, really difficult to play from behind with Sven, because he needs to always show himself in the lane. And when you give vision of yourself as the highest net worth hero on the map,
they found an opening.
Very comfortable.
Swap. The BKB came off very quickly there by the Centaur. And Korok, well, he's away to safety. They didn't know what they were walking into then, NoT. They just smoked up and tried to have a crack at anything they could find. And they just, yeah, they didn't really find anything apart from a Centaur who will have to use his first charge of his BKB.
Yeah, and you know what? Speaking of the Centaur, he's actually, I think he's one of the most farmed on his team. Looking at the net worth chart, yeah, he's 3rd on the board, just behind Smash, who is the mid lane panda. He's done really, really well for himself. I believe that's Trelf.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's doing really good. Or Trelf.
Is it actually Trelf? Because I think Smash is Smash.
Smash is Smash, but stand-in Johnny Walker is Trelf Amador.
Ah.
Yeah.
You know what? We will be slapping these guys up in the break.
Oh, come on. They're in a stand-in phase. Na'Vi US are trying people here.
Yeah, but they're still going to use their correct names.
Oh, I'm not taking responsibility, call it.
No, I will. I will certainly. I will take responsibility for the greater good of the Dota community. I don't want to watch Ronaldo playing on a team called basically Smelly Cheese of 39. I don't need to see that kind of crap. I want to cheer for Ronaldo, you know?
All right, Toby, you made your case.
Yes, yes, I do, and I make it very well. All right, bottom lane, they're coming again, NoT. They did at least get through the tower last time, so this time it might be a little bit easier to breach up to the high ground. The problem is what's happening when you have a God Strength Ven beating into your tier 3 tower with help from a Venomancer, and they're TPing a lot of heroes back. One came in towards the mid tower, searching for Korok, who's actually managed to juke him successfully in the tree line. The Ice Path, well, he's actually juking him all the way around.
Man.
He ran circles around him on the bottom lane, and Enigma's trying to catch up here to the PA. Managed to get a Maleficent over. He's got Blink Dagger off cooldown right now. So he, whoop! Blink over. They're all trying to chase him. The Midnight Pulse will clean off the way, but the Courier will go down. The Maleficent will finally get BKBs, and then just man modes into Fog. Fog 4-staff away will help him out into the tree line. They got more support coming in now. Smash also joined the fight. And well, Enigma, too much damage. He got a crit in the last swipe. The Enigma and the Rubik go down. Na'Vi US really chasing a long, long way for that and getting no joy for it whatsoever.
That was such a heavy overcommit. The Enigma actually had no mana for Black Hole there, and he didn't even have enough for Soul Ring. That kind of overcommitment, it's... Oh man. That's probably going to cost him the Raxes here. Do they even have buybacks? No. Nope. No buybacks.
Nothing available for him. And this now means the bottom melee racks will at least go down. How much more they can take beyond this, that's a big question mark. That's a very big question mark. And while the question's trying to be answered, they're going into that mid lane already. Masoka's already moving himself in, giving that bonus damage. However, the attack from Trial, the blink down, Masoka looking for the shackle shot. They swap him up. Couldn't get a proper connection target, but then again,
man.
This PA's damage output is ridiculous. Korok gets controlled by the Brewmaster. He'll get the ulti off, but he only really gets the Wind Ranger in this. And the damage output from the PA, it just can't be stopped. Kuro showed us how powerful this hero was the other night. And now, it looks like the Peruvians are going to do the same thing, getting the 1-game advantage over Na'Vi US here in this best-of-3 winners bracket semi-final. The winner of this playoff series, they will be traveling to DreamHack Bucharest to play up against the top 3 European teams for a prize pool, which I believe is actually exceeding $60,000. But of course, you guys can support that one by buying the ticket, watching the games inside the game as well. I apologize, we had a live stream drop for no apparent reason halfway through that game. I'll be double checking it during the break time. But stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back here in a couple of moments' time for NoT today battling up against Na'Vi US for a slot in the winners bracket final. Stay tuned. We'll be back.